Okay, very good afternoon, good evening to all of you, right? Those who are, if you're taking this call from elsewhere, welcome to this session. Before I go forward, let me introduce myself. Yeah, so before I go forward, let me introduce myself. And before that, today's session is more on ProQuest dissertation and thesis global, right? If you look at my topic here, my title in the slide, hold on a second. If you see the title in the slide, so the number one, I'm going to take you through this database, ProQuest dissertation and thesis global. In short, I might refer this to PQDT. And also another database is called Music Periodical Collection, which is very specific to music related research topics. And then I'm going to take you to another platform. So we actually have three platforms to go through. The third one is the Ebooks Central. This is collections of ebooks from the Academic Complete Collection. Okay, so we will explore all this content and see how this content can support you in your in your assignments, in your project papers, or if you want to enrich your knowledge, or for those who are doing postgraduate studies, you probably need some additional information. If you want to start your research topic, you probably have need to have more information. So these are all content that you can explore subsequently. Okay, now let's move on. Let me know if you can hear me clearly. Yeah. Yes, once you have signed in, right? For those ELE points, don't worry about it. Once you have registered and signed in, your name will be automatically captured. So your name, your details, everything will be captured. And what I will do is after we have completed this session, I will pass this to your librarian, Farizas, and she will then allocate it accordingly. So don't worry about it. Once you've signed in, it's all good. Okay, just give me 1 minute. Yeah, so don't worry about the ELP point. So once you have signed in, it's all good. Yeah, so let's move on. So this, as I said, we have three different databases to go through today. So we have only about 1.5 hours. So let's move on. I also would like to give a very brief introduction about myself. My name is Kurinji Malar, and I'm the Senior Customer Success Manager with ProQuest, which is now Clarivate. And basically, I based in Malaysia. I've been working very closely with many of the academic institutions as well as government sectors across Southeast Asia and Australia. And one of my main interest or my passion is about to mentor. So I'm currently an active mentor with Global Mentorship Initiative, or in short, it's called GMI, where basically I guide the underrepresented young professionals from the diverse community to advance in their career. And I'm also a certified customer success manager. Okay, so that's a little bit about myself. So I've got some basic information about yourself, whether you're undergraduate, but you can also, tell me what course are you pursuing, and have you used this platform before? You can just type it in the chat box. If you have used this platform before, you said you're familiar. If you say you are new to this platform, just type in new to this platform. So I will also know my audiences, my participants well. Okay, thank you for if you're sharing it. Okay. Now we have three different parts. So number one, I will take you through the ProQuest dissertation and thesis global database. Number two is music periodical collection. And third one is the ebook central, is the ebook platform. So in the ProQuest dissertation and thesis global, what I will do is I will take you through this platform to show you to explore the wealth of resources to broaden your literature discovery. So if you want to start your research, if you want to broaden your literature discovery, I will take you through how to maximize the use of this platform. In this platform, we know that all of you, including me, we like to use the generative AI to support our research, teaching, as well as learning. So what we did, we have embedded the AI elements, so AI tools into this platform so that you can craft more effective and targeted searches. You can analyze the document at the document level, the insights of the document, the key takeaways, the important concepts. Not only that, you're also able to identify some related research topic, and more, the best features I would say is you can ask question with the chat with the document feature, where you can kind of engage, right? You can engage, you can consult the papers, and you can do it in a multiple language, not only in English language. So if your preferred language is Chinese or Bahasa Malaysia or Arabic or any preferred language, you can ask question in your own preferred language, because it supports more than 100 languages. Okay, thank you for sharing your information. Okay, I'm looking at the chat box also as I'm going through this. Okay, then I will focus on music periodical collection. So this database is specifically designed for music related content, right? So if you are doing research on music, then this platform is something you should explore to find some information related to your research topic. Then we will go into the ebook central. The ebook central is another platform where you can find collections of ebooks, wide range of titles. So you can explore how you can how you can discover the titles. Then you can explore the multiple way of downloading and download options, whether you want to download the entire book or you just want some part of the book. You can also explore how you can save some of the titles to quickly access it in your bookshelf. And you can also look at how you can share this titles to your team members. Then if you are not interested in downloading, you can read it online with the help of the research assistant and etc. So research assistant is basically the AI integration to the book, and here we call this as ProQuest research assistant, and this is the ebook research assistant. Okay, let's move on. So for the ProQuest dissertation and thesis, how many of you here, you have used this platform before? Say yes if you have used, say no if you haven't. Okay, I get one no. I want to see if you're familiar, but no worries if you say no, because that's the purpose you are here. And some of you say yes. Okay. All right. So how do you access it? First of all, you must able to access to this platform. I think that is the most important point that I want to emphasize here. So how to access it, right? You go to your institution library, right? Your UCSI library portal here. Okay, so you go to your library portal, you go to your e-resources, the e-resources here at the online database. If you scroll down, you will see ProQuest Music Periodical Database, ProQuest Dissertation and Thesis Global, and ProQuest eBook Central Academic Complete. If you see this, then you're on the right track. So this is how you go. Let me show you on, are you able to see my screen taking you through your library portal? Are you able to see that? Okay, so here in your library portal, either you click on e-resources and you go to online database, or you can scroll down. As you scroll down, you see online database. If you click on that, it will take you to your e-resources. Scroll down, you will see access to the ProQuest Music Periodical Database, ProQuest Dissertation and Thesis Global, ProQuest eBook Central Academic Complete. So if you you may need to be required to log in, because it needs an authentication. So you make sure that you have your authentication, you have your login ID and the password. If you don't have, you ensure that you talk to your library and say you get your access to this library resources, because a lot of resources are here. So apart from ProQuest, you also have access to other resources. Yeah. Okay, so make sure that you do that. It's very important for your academic research. Okay, so because I'm going to start with ProQuest Dissertation and Thesis Global, you can click here and access to that platform. So once you have accessed, I will show you how it looks like. But now, before we go into the platform itself, a very brief introduction. I won't spend much time here. Just to give you a background about the ProQuest dissertation and thesis database. It started way back in 1939 in the form of a printed copy. Then they evolved in the form of microfilm. And today we have all this content into a platform called ProQuest dissertation and thesis, the online platform. And now we have recently embedded the AI integration to it. Yeah, so it has gone through a long way from 1939 to current, with the current development as well, including the AI integration. Okay, now the ProQuest dissertation and thesis, how this works is it works three ways. Number one is it has a content, the content of actual graduate work done by users collated in this database and accessible through this database. Okay, so that is to help you to accelerate your discovery when it comes to research. So this is what we are going to focus. Apart from that, because the institutions are participating, the institutions across the world are participating to provide the content of their master's thesis or their postgraduate dissertation and thesis, right, into this platform. So when they participate, the institution, like if UCSI participate, UCSI basically amplify the research across the world and let everybody access to the dissertation and thesis to see how it works and how is it relevant to their research, doing some comparison, doing some analysis, and etc. But that is the amplifying part. And the other one is once the partnering university have amplified the research, they basically analyze how is their institution influencing in the global landscape. Okay, so this is what it basically does, the dissertation and thesis. But today our focus here, because UCSI has subscribed to the ProQuest dissertation and thesis global as a content, so we will focus on the accelerating the discovery of the content. Okay, so if you have any question, you just feel free to send it through in the chat box, because I'm monitoring the chat box. If you want to, I'm not sure if you can unmute your speaker yourself, but if you can't, don't worry, use the chat box to communicate with me. So along the way we ask, so I'm going to ask you also, why would you want to use ProQuest dissertation and thesis? Okay, so whether you're undergraduate, whether you're postgraduate, it's okay, it doesn't matter. Let me know why would you want to use the ProQuest dissertation and thesis, which is the actual graduate work done by users across the world, okay, which is published in this platform. You can send the information in the chat box. I will monitor. But from Clarivate, when we did a survey with the researchers basically explained why is this information so valuable to them. So number one is for the researchers or the postgraduate students, whenever they are looking for information, they find that the information from the dissertation and thesis reveal results that are not published in the peer review literature. So peer review literature means it's scholarly papers, scholarly journals, right? That is been written by the expert, that been peer reviewed and so on. So sometimes they find that those information they are not able to find in the peer review literature, they can find in the dissertation and thesis. So this is one reason. Another reason is they prefer to have this as a example of research, how the research was conducted. On top of that, they are able to have more details. More detail can be found in than in the journal article, especially when it comes to experimental details. So the methodology part is very detailed. You will be able to see why they have chosen this methodology, this method to carry out the research. All the detailed information is included in the ProQuest dissertation and thesis global collections of information. Okay, so in a nutshell, so it actually supports undergraduate student, graduate student, researchers to discover the emerging areas, to enhance literature review, build expertise, and access to details that is not available in the peer reviewed. And to me, it's a very basic example, right? It's an example. If you have no idea how can I start my dissertation, how do I start my thesis, or how do I do my research paper, my final year project paper. I need to have some idea to start with. Okay, I need to know how do I need to do a literature review, and how this literature review has been conducted in other papers. How was this research carried out in other countries, in other institutions, some comparing universities in other countries, and so on. So you want to have some ideas about that. So that is why you can access to dissertation and thesis global at any level, whether you're undergraduate, your graduate students, or researchers. Okay, so this is how you can use it for graduate students, right? You can select a unique research topic. You can see the example of it. You can see how the literature review was included in that paper. It's basically a model for your dissertation format. And most importantly, it can be also a source for your systematic review. Some of you, if you're doing your postgraduate studies, you probably want to do a systematic review. So this can be a source of gray literature for under systematic review. Same goes for faculties and researchers, and also for undergraduate students. This can be used for your final year project papers. This is a ready-made literature review that you can have an access to it, and some topic recommendation. You can see how your topic, you can have an idea how this topic was presented in the form of dissertations and thesis. Okay. Now we explore further. What will you find in this? So once you log into the dissertation and thesis, what collections of information you find? So it is an actual graduate work done by users across the world, where you have access to 6.3 million curated metadata records, 6.3 million papers. Yeah, in short, in simpler way, it's 6.3 million papers available in this platform. From the 6.3 million, you have 4 million in full text. So this is a combination of abstract and full text. This is 4 million of full text coming from information, or the records are from 3,600 institutions across the world, from 70 countries, in 60 over languages, and so on. Okay, so you have access to that. Now, if your interests, you may come from a different background, your research interests might be different. So not to worry, because in the dissertation and thesis, you can find information across disciplines that you can see on my right slide, on my right here. You can see this in the slide, that it covers research topic from ethnic and gender studies to business, to architecture, to education, to language, to literature, to philosophy, to social sciences, to interdisciplinary, to behavioral sciences, to ecosystem sciences, to engineering, environmental, including health and medical sciences as well. So it's actually a broad coverage, or broad spectrum of coverage in across the disciplines. So you should be able to find something relevant to you. Now, this just simply to explain, or once the dissertation or thesis is submitted to ProQuest or the Clarivate, there will be some editorial work to be done, will be done, where the cross-index vocabularies are index, so that it can be easily discovered, whether you are exploring it by the name of the university, or if you want to go by subject indexing, or if you want to search within the subject, and also by the advisory committee or something like that. So it's easy to discover. That's why it has been cross-indexed vocabulary, with the cross-indexed vocabularies. Okay. Now, what is this? Basically, you can find any topic of your research that, they can, even if you're looking at social media or mental health and nursing morale, you can find here. Okay, I'm going to move on here. So, how many of here do use generative AI tools such as ChatGPT or some other Claude, or any other tools to support your research or your academic work? If yes, say yes in the chat box. Okay. I believe all of you use. Okay. Now, so what we did, we have embedded the ProQuest Research Assistant. This is ProQuest Research Assistant. So whenever you see ProQuest Research Assistant, that is in the AI tools, which has been embedded in the document level. In the document level, can you see this is a document level? This is the paper. On your right, you will see the research assistant. So this research assistant basically helps you to digest the information more effectively by quickly looking at the key takeaway, looking at the foundational research, here the research topic. And if I go on here, this is about key takeaway. And it also talks about important concepts. And also, I have mentioned this earlier. So you can ask question, you can chat with the document and ask more question about the methodology, about the content itself, the context of the research, and etc. So you know that dissertations are sometimes not short. It takes like, some of the papers I have seen up to 300 pages of dissertation as well. So it's a very lengthy paper, so it's not easy for you to digest the information if you're reading and reading and reading. So with the support of the AI tools will help you to quickly understand the paper in more effectively, and also in your preferred language. Okay. Now, apart from the chat, okay, now we talk about the chat with the document. So what is basically done is, when you go to the platform, we go to the document, the chat with the document helps you to navigate, to identify specific pages, to quickly find the information right here. And then you are also able to translate the section on the fly, or chat with the document in your own native languages. And further, it's just not just to navigate, but it helps you to query the document key insights. You can go into details and ask information that you are not clear about, to make sure that you are able to understand. On top of that, there is a follow-up questions as well. Okay. So I have spoken about all this. I will now take you through the live demo. I'm going to hold on here to see if you have any question. Okay, I spend more time on dissertation and thesis because it is an important database, or it benefits all of you. Any questions so far? It's all good. Shall we proceed to the live demo? Okay, so now here, if you recall how to access this, remember I was talking about this one. If you go into your library, scroll down, and if you click on your ProQuest dissertation and thesis, you should be coming to this page. You should be able to see this page. So if you don't see this page, if you don't see ProQuest dissertation and thesis global on your screen, you can always change database. Go to your change database, go to your, either you go to the 3-line, or you can just change it from here. As long as you see the change database, make sure that you have selected ProQuest dissertation and thesis global. Click on that. So once you are at this level, it's very easy, because easy to navigate this platform, because the rest of it, it's all about your the key terms that you want to use. Okay, so remember, this is a multidisciplinary database. It covers various content, various subject that covers about 6.3 million documents here. Yeah, so don't worry about if you are from a different research interest, you don't have to worry about it. Okay, so now let's do a simple one. I'm sure everybody can able to follow this. Let's say we are interested in stem cell therapy. So let's say we just type it in here, stem cell therapy. So you see a drop down, you can pick from here. Okay, now if you have a question, if your question is, can we do a natural language search and ask question here? Not yet, we have not incorporated that. So you can start with the key term first. You can just start with the key term and say you want to do research on stem cell therapy. Just click on the search. So whenever you click on the search, you will only get full text information, because you already been defaulted to full text. Yeah, so whatever that you get here is all full text. There is no abstract. So you get so many results, right? 236 actual graduate works on stem cell therapy. But what you want is, you are saying, no, I'm not looking at stem cell therapy as by its own, but I want to combine it with looking at it from regenerative medicine or treatment outcomes, or do I want to see from other perspective, right? So, but how do you know? How would you know which one that you should choose? Okay, how is this? Why is this appearing here? This appearing here. This is generated by the AI, right? It is not by it's not by manually done. So this is generated by AI based on the results and your key term. Yeah, based on your key term, based on the results, based on these documents. They know these documents are basically discussing either patient safety or treatment outcome or ethical consideration or regenerative medicine. So they already know this from this 200,000 results. These are the top main discussion. So if you want to say, okay, we want to say, okay, I'm interested in stem cell therapy. I want to focus on regenerative medicine. Okay, so you just type, you just include it, and it will refine by itself, and it's easy to discover. Okay, so what we did so far, we just used the basic search. We are here, we just did the basic search. But usually I would recommend users, if you want to be more specific, use the advanced search. Why advanced search is because we want them to be more specific. You don't want every documents that that just talk about stem cell therapy. You want it. You want a paper or dissertation that discuss heavily about the topic of stem cell therapy. Okay, so now let's do stem cell therapy. But this time you are not going to look at everywhere in the document, anywhere in the document. So you can use the search fields. So in this search fields, I recommend you to use the NOFT. If you are not familiar with NOFT, NOFT means anywhere except full text. But what you want is, you want to search this key term to appear either in the title or in the abstract or in the subject indexing. So this is what you want. So to make it easier, so we choose multiple. We want the terms to be appear in a multiple main indexing, which is NOFT, right? Then you just search it, because you don't have to confine on a specific universities or subjects or index term. You don't need to select all this, because if you don't select, it automatically picks everything, the entire database. Okay. So in this case, when I did the stem cell therapy, the results are 6,000 plus, and the AI has suggested whether you want to link this, or you want to connect it with the clinical trial, again to regenerative medicine or ethical consideration, or what is the interest of your research. So these key terms here can be related terms, can be the scope of the research, it can be the context of the research, right? So up to the user which one to choose. So again, if my interest is to look at it from the regenerative medicine, I'm going to click on here and I get the results. It will be automatically refined, and now my results are lesser. Then I can even further refine based on the suggestion given here. Okay. Now, next is, you can move on to use the filter panels to narrow it down. So either you can sort it by relevance or the most reasons, up to you, up to your interest. Then you can also sort by publication. If you only want to look at last 2-3 years of content, you just change this to 2023 to 2022 to 2026. Okay, to that, and then just update because you want to find for last 3-4 years of information, right? It's already sorted it out, it's already filtered it, and you can go by subject here, whether you want to look at from stem cells or genetics, or and if you can see here more subjects that you can explore. And if you want to see which are the top 10 subjects that is being discussed, of course, cellular biology to biomedical engineering, stem cells, and etc. And also, if you see the index term, so there are differences between the subject and the index term. So the difference are basically, subject is whenever the paper is submitted, this will be based on the subject, the standard subject ProQuest has. It will be mapped into the subject. Okay, but if you index term is provided by the author. So this one, Robert Andrew from University of Maryland, would have provided the key terms that's related to this paper, so that it can be easily discovered. So these are more granular, more specific to the author, why the author wants to what the wants others to discover the paper. Okay, so it's more granular. So you can still say, okay, I'm interested in some of these other papers related to stem cell therapy. Okay, and if you say not all papers that you have interest to explore, you can choose some of the top universities papers, like if you want to look at Boston's University or some other institution, Stanford, or you want to explore Harvard and so on. So you want to explore those institutions access, just filter it from here. And you can also filter by the location. You can go by countries to locate it as well. Okay, so this is very clear. You can filter it such a way. Number one is you know how to start the search, you know how to filter it, you know how to navigate this filter panels, you know how to use this AI suggested terms. Okay, now we go into the platform itself. So whenever you are here, if it's a full text within the platform, you see this. When you click on this, right? Whenever you click on this, you will see your AI, your research assistant on your right here. So what the research assistant does, basically, it will give you a quick insight on a key takeaway. Key takeaway is like, what is this research about, right? You just want to have a quick understanding about this research. Okay, so it says this is about all this information. Is there any additional topic has been discussed? Yes, the additional topic has been discussed. Okay, this alone may not be enough for you. This is a 59 pages paper, not enough for you to decide whether you want to look at this paper in details. So you can now say, okay, now let me have an important concept of this paper. So you can see the important concepts of this paper. Let it load. Okay, so what we're seeing here is the important concepts. Okay, it's not loaded yet. Let it load so that you can see that. You will see about at least 5 to 6 concepts that has been discussed. So you can see these are the concepts that has been discussed in this paper. So if you want to learn more about it, you can click here to explore it. It will search for you more documents related to these concepts. Okay. Then you said, okay, I have seen the important concept, but I'm new to this paper. So I basically want to know what is all this paper about? Why was this paper written? Or how was this research carried out? What was the challenges when carrying this research? What are the limitations when we are carrying out this research? And what is the findings? What's the conclusion? So if you want to know essential details, you just click on the essential details. In a few seconds, you get all the detail about this research. Okay, so something went wrong, but if you see that it happens to you, you just have to refresh it, because sometimes it happens. So you just basically have to refresh it. So I have refreshed, so you can see the main point of the research, the purpose, what's the design, what's the study design or methodology been used, what is the outcome of the research, the implication, study limitation, and etc. Okay, now if this is also not enough, sometimes it's important to visualize the topic. So when you go in visualize, you can see what other discussion has taken place in this paper, what else they have added apart from the main research topic, what are the subtopics that has been discussed. So you click on the visualize this document topic, so that you can have a better understanding about this research. So if it is too small for you to see, use the arrow button to expand it. Okay, let it load again. Sometimes my map is very new. It's been only recently introduced, so it may take some time. So hold on. Okay, so it's here. So what is the main topic here? The main topic is about, if you are from this field, you be able to understand bright ferritin MRI cell tracking. But along with that, they are also looking at it from perspective of safety and functional impact and other MRI cell tracking techniques. There are many other subtopics has been discussed. So if you want to focus on some of the subtopics, if you want to know more about it, you are not able to click and get to the results because it's still a static. So you can scroll down and see the topics here. So it's a, let's say if you're interested in looking at stem cell therapy application from the therapy application itself, so right, you just click on it and you get your results very quickly. Okay, so that's how it works. Hold on, let it load. Okay, so discuss what this document says about stem cell therapy application. So you will get the results. You will also have a follow-up question. So very good to use the follow-up question, because sometimes when you're here, you wouldn't have even thought about the new questions. In your mind, you haven't thought. So it gives you an idea. Why not you explore this? Why not you think about this one? Hold on, let it load. Then I can talk more about it. Okay, so this is all about the stem cell therapy application in this document, not outside, in this document. And whatever the information here is within this document. Then there is a follow-up question. Okay, what are the main obstacles obstacle to stem cell therapy mentioned in the document? When you click, it will then provide you next answers to that. If you are happy with it, you can just go on with the follow-up questions and you get your results. Okay, so easy to use. On top of that, you see there is a box here. You can ask questions. So you can ask a question like, what is the, how is this, in a simpler way, you can say, how is this research carried out? But you can also ask what methodology had been used, or what is the study design of this paper. Okay, so your question here, you can ask in any language. You can ask in Chinese language. You can ask it asked in Bahasa Malaysia, in other languages, in Filipino languages, in Thai languages, in French, in Spanish, any language of your preferred language. Yeah, just you can ask it. So here, so if you ask this question, then it will give you an idea, okay, what is this paper? How do this research was carried out? What methodology had been used for this research, and so on. So let it come up. Okay. So, okay. Okay, so you want to ask, how were the animal model used in the experiment? Okay, so now you can say you're okay with this result, this answer, but you can translate the above in Chinese language, right? You just ask to translate, or you can write the question in spelling error, but it should be able to understand what I have written here. You will translate that in the Chinese language. So you can either get that translated like this, or if you are saying that some part here that you're reading, you are not able to understand. Let's say if you want this to be translated, so you just copy that. Okay, copy this and copy here and say translate to. Okay, you just do that. So it will then translate that particular the para into the language of your preference. Okay, so I'm going to stop here for a while to see if you have any question. because I still have 2 more databases to go through. Any questions so far? Is that all clear? Then if you want to copy this information, right, this content, if you want to copy it, always look up for the copy sign here. Can you see the copy sign? Then you copy this into your documents, you get your results, the content, you can copy that. Okay. And make sure when you submit it in your paper, submit it in your research paper, submit it in your final year project paper, they indicate that this is from the research assistant based on the main paper. So it is not from elsewhere. This is from the dissertation itself, specific from the document itself. Okay. Now that is some of the important message that I want to share. So if you want to download this paper, you can download it from here. You can download using all the other ways to download here. Yeah, I won't be spending much time here because it's easy, straightforward. So likewise, if your interest is to do research in other areas, for example, if you are doing research on music related, but you want a dissertation, example of dissertations in the area of music, for example. So let's say if you want to see, is there any research on this jazz and saxophone, for example, right? Saxophone and jazz. So you can leave it like this to see if there's any specific information. Not that many, which is good, but you'd still have 228 results. So again, you can confine it to by subject, by index, key term index, index terms or keywords, or by institution if you want to. So if you're interested in any specific universities, let's see. Okay, so you can pick on that, but otherwise you can just go to individual the dissertation, and you will have access to the research assistant element. You can use the essential details, finding conclusion, visualize this topic, important concepts. And if your idea is about doing research on jazz and saxophone, and if you want to get some ideas on the research topic, so just click on brainstorm related research topic. So how it helps is it gives you an idea, okay, why not you do your research on this topic? Here some ideas has been suggested to you from the theological perspective, or can be integration with the symphonic work, something, sometimes on the religious themes, something like that. It is already given you an idea, right? So this is also good for you to explore it. So again, I want to recap. This dissertation and thesis is a huge collection of information, 6.3 million documents that covers various topics, whether your research interest is in health and medical, your research interest in business, or if your research interest in music, social sciences, arts and humanities, technological related, IT related, computer science related, any topics, you should be able to find information in this platform. Okay, so I'm going to pause here to see if you have any question before we go to the second part of the content. It's all good. Say good. Okay to proceed. All right, I see a thumbs up. Thank you. Okay, let's move on. All right. Now the second one, it's very specific to music related. Yeah, so if you are doing your research in music related research, that would be a good platform that you should explore. Okay, I'm going to take you to this one. So to uncover the value of ProQuest music periodical database. So this periodical database, the coverage of the database is quite huge, right? It contains like 1.3 million article records. It is spanning from the year 1874 to current, broad coverage on the musical research, and it indexed more than 425 music periodicals and offers a full text access to 140 of the index periodicals, yeah, for index studies. And what is the coverage, historical and contemporary coverage, yeah? It even goes ways back to 1874, and also you have the recent decades as well, quite majority of the articles from the recent decades, yeah. And the subject coverage is basically include on music education, performance, ethnomusicology, musical theater, theory, popular music, music forms, composition, and many more. If you're in the field of music, you will be very familiar with all that, right? Okay, so I think I have covered on the music topics. I've also covered on the subject here. So we will move on to the live demo. Okay, now the music periodical database also resides on the same platform, on this platform. So if you want to switch it to that, you go to change database, right? You go to your change database and you can switch it to music periodical also. But my suggestion, if you want to do a music periodical database, you can just combine, select all, because you get more detailed information, not only from the music periodical database, you also get dissertations that relevant to your search. So for example, this one, right? So we can go back to advanced search. So you can either just type in like what I have done, jazz and saxophone, for example, or if you want to see, I want to learn about this one, for example. If your term is this, uh, ethnomusicology, for example, but you can also expand it, use the search term, using the search term you said, or traditional music or folk music or indigenous music. So if you, let's say if you want to explore all these musics, right? So just have to add the or in between. So for example, ethnomusicology or traditional music or folk music or indigenous music. So when I put the quotation mark, that means I want this to be as a phrase, traditional music, folk music. And if I want indigenous music as a phrase, then I can put a quotation mark. Right now I did it. It's up to you. You see how your results like. Then again, remember NOFT, because you want to look at it from the NOFT, just search it. Okay. So there are many results that talks about indigenous music, but if you want to be very specific, you can even add more context to this, more context. So you want to learn about cultural heritage or musicology theory or performance practices, music identity. What is that your interest, right? You will know, not me. I may not know, but you as a doing your research in this area, you should be able to look at that. So let's say that we want to look at it from the cultural heritage perspective. So you can just click on that and it will refine for you and give you some results here. So the results here now, it's no longer only the dissertation and thesis, because this is a database that contains more than dissertation. This ProQuest music periodical database contains more than dissertation. It contains scholarly journals, some books relevant to that, newspaper information, some magazines, state journals, all included in this collection, because I have selected all, right? So you should be able to see that. So let's say we move on to the scholarly journals. Okay, yes, scholarly journals. In this scholarly journals, okay, this is about equitable indigenous inclusion in music education. So now, only thing that I feel is not here is the AI. So in the music periodical database is a very small collection. So therefore, there is no research assistant has been embedded. Okay, so but don't worry. So what I would suggest is, for whenever you see that there is no research assistant has been embedded for your interest, the paper that you're interested in, you can download them into a PDF, right? And the PDF here, you can go into any of your general uh, generative AI tools, such as the chat PDF or some other research related generative AI tools that you are been using, you might be using already, like Jenny AI, or you have others as well, Skyspace, any other databases that you've been using. You can download them, upload them, and you ask questions to for you to digest the information, for you to understand the information more effectively. Yeah, you can do so. So that is very easy, very straightforward, so that I won't spend much time because I already spoke about this a lot in the ProQuest dissertation and thesis. So if I go back here, you can use the advanced searches. Okay, and okay, leave it as it is. And whenever you do your search, every time when you conduct a search, there will be a reason history here. So for those who want to make sure, you want to document it, right? If you want to document it, you come to these reason searches and you export them all. So you say, I want to export these, my searches that I've conducted on music related, right? Maybe this one you don't want, so we just pick what we want. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and you export it. You export it to these documents if you want to keep a track. But if you don't want to export outside, you want to keep a track within the platform. What you need to do is you need to create an account. You need to create a research account, right? Just easy. Just enter your email, your password, confirm your password. You just acknowledge. Immediately it will be created. Once you have created, then you can save them here. You can just save them in the platform. It will be saved into your platform. Next time you just come in and you just click on it and you can run. So if your question is why not you just leave it here, it's already been documented, it's already been there, right? Why do you need to save some more? The reason is these reason searches, they are not permanent. They are only active when your sessions are active at that point. Once your sessions logged out, right, like this one, I will miss all those information. It will not be there. It will be gone. So the reason is, that's why I'm asking you to create an account. You save it into your folder. Okay, so this is what you do. So now let's say we go back again, say, yes, I still want to run the search. Okay, now run the search. And what I want to do is I want to download this paper, right? Download it. Remember, you can either download it from here or you can download from the 3 dots. You have all the options to download, or you can export them to your citation management system, right? Okay. Any question for this so far? So your search examples, right? It can be any search that is related to music. Music, for example. Let me go back to the main page. Okay, so let's say if you're interested in see how this Korean popular music or the K-pop or Hallyu or Korean wave, how is this impacting impacting the young generation? Then you can also do a quick search, like this is K-pop. Okay, when you have a quotation mark here, you must make sure you have it for here also. So K-pop, Korean popular music, Hallyu or Korean wave. So in the NOFT. So remember NOFT. NOFT means you want them to appear in the title, right? Not many result, because you want them to be in the title. You want them to appear in the this is dissertation. Yeah, it's a dissertation on this. You want them to appear in the abstract. You want them to appear in the subject indexing. So subject indexing is this. So this is popular K-pop music. So it is also in the title. It is also it's basically in the title and also in the abstract. Okay, so you can see that how it works. So for the dissertation and thesis, you will be seeing the the research assistant. But for the scholarly papers, which is within the music periodical, if you don't see, remember I told you to download and take it to your own generative AI tools to study on that, to understand the paper more effectively. Okay. And for you, if you see any suggested sources, if it is interesting, that you can also click on it to see whether you can access. If you can access, again, use the same method to to analyze it. Okay. Any questions so far? Any question on this? Okay, so what we did, the second one is based on music periodical database, but my suggestion is you click on all, so you get more accessible, you access to more data, more information, not only within the music periodical database, but you can also get information from the dissertation and thesis and etc., and also education research index. If there's any music education related, you probably have information from the index as well. Okay. Any question so far? It's all good, all clear? Okay. No question. Right. So let's move on. The third one is another database. So remember this here. So we have looked at the dissertation and thesis. Next one, we have looked at ProQuest Music Periodical, which is a very specific niche area for music research. But whereas the dissertation and thesis global is more multidisciplinary. And now we are looking at ProQuest eBook Central Academic Complete, which is a collections of ebooks that is also multidisciplinary. Whether you are research in any areas, you should be able to find some books. Okay, now whenever you click this, you will come to this page on eBook Central. Okay, can you see this? Have you access to eBook Central platform before this? Have anyone access to the ebook collection? Yes. If you have access, say yes in the chat box. If you are not, say no in the chat box. Okay, so this platform is different. This one is the research platform. This one is more of if you see the ebook central, is more of discovering the ebook and getting the ebook for to be downloaded, to then you do some reading to support your research. Okay, so this ebook central is collections of ebooks. So to discover the ebooks, you can just put your cursor here, and to see how many books you have, just click on the search. Please not time out yet. Okay, timed out. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, now it should be okay. So let's again, to see how many books you have in this collection, put your cursor here, just click a search. You should be seeing the number of books. So you have what, 295,000 books, yeah, collections of books, huge collections of books from various subjects. Subjects are here. If you look at the subjects are listed here based on the number of books. Okay, so it's from political science to education to business to psychology to social sciences to medical health to education, and you name it, lots of other subjects are also included here. Okay, so that's a huge collection of books. But if you want to discover the books, if you are new to this platform, you probably have a couple of ways. Number one is to use the to use the browse subject. So the browse subject is they have mapped the books according to the subject, from arts, in fine arts, architectures, business, literature, to science and technology, to health and medicine, and some other general topics including tourism, hospitality, education, social sciences, and etc. So if you are interested in books relevant to tourism, you just click on here. You will get all the books that is related to hospitality management or tourism related books. Okay, now that is quick, that's a very broad way to discover. But if you already have a key term, the keyword, or the author's name, or the ISBN number, then you can just type it here. Say I want to get books on mental health, for example. Just an example, yeah, just type it in. So when I type mental health, of course I get so many books on mental health, because not it's not necessarily the title carries mental health, but it can be a content within the discussion of within the discussion of the book. It could be the mental health has been discussed. Okay, that's why it's here. But most of the time we want that to be in the title. So if you put in mental health at the title level, so you can use the title, then you will be able to find books which are very specific to mental health, um, in the title. Okay, so now then next what you can do is you sort it out by publication date to see any new books on mental health. Right, this is a new book, 2025 books. You can also say you want it in English, because they are also including other languages. You can confine it this way. And these are all the books related to mental health in the new books. Yeah, so if you are doing research on psychology related topics and you want a book on mental health, so you can now say, okay, these are books that I have, I want to explore, and I want to add them to a bookshelf. So what is bookshelf? Bookshelf is where you can keep all your books. It's like adding your favorite books into your bookshelf, right? This is more like a folder. So you can click here. If it asks you to create an account, right, like just now, you just create an account. Remember the passwords. You can have a standard password for the earlier one as well as this one, so that it's more like personalizing. When you personalize your information, right, nobody else knows, you only yourself, you will know about it. So you can like for example, then I can now say, okay, this is mental health, and I created a folder. I have added this into mental health related topic. So I can add more to the mental health. Okay, I added more. You can add any books that you read, you find this is relevant to interesting for your study, you just include here. Okay, so I have added a couple of books. You can change this to view more books here. You don't need to click next, just change this to 100, and then you can see the entire books, list of the books, and you can continuously add them into your folder. Okay, so once you have added to the folder, next time you come in, you don't need to search mental health, because you already have all the books listed into your bookshelf here. Yeah, it's already there. So I will show you later how to explore those books. And at this point, let's say if you're interested in some books here, which you think it's it's very interesting and you want to learn about that, you can click on this, right? You can just click on this. So a few things that you need to take note. When you click on the book, there are a couple of things you need to do. You need to take note. This is, of course, is unlimited, but you can also take note of this. There are no copy, print, or download restriction in this title. So what it means is this book is completely DRM free. What it means to you is you can download the entire book into a PDF format. You just download them into a PDF format and keep it with you for your references, for your reading. You want to print it, you can print it, and etc. So that is the most important thing. So when you will click on the book, look at this. If it is no copy or download or restriction on this title, just download it to your PDF. Okay, download and keep it into your local drive. But if you are not interested in downloading, you just want to read online, just go to your read online. Look at the read online page right here. You are basically reading online. Okay, that might be later. You said, okay, I want to see introduction, okay, this uses and refuses. So you can read this at this point. And if you want to use the AI, if you see an icon like this is the research assistant for the book. If you click this, you should be able to see the key takeaway of this chapter. Okay, there is no key takeaway. Okay, maybe it's in this at the main level, maybe. It's okay. Let me try again. There should be a key takeaway, and this is the key takeaway. And if you want to look at the concepts discussed, so right now there is no option for you to ask question for the chapter. So this is by chapter. The concepts are by chapters, the key takeaways are by chapters. We haven't introduced the chat with the document feature, but there's a plan to do so, but so far not yet. We only have the key takeaway and the concepts here. Yeah. So if you already read and you know what is the important chapters, so you don't need to download the entire paper. So you can download by chapters. You can go to this and say, you can click here. Hold on, like thing is loading. Okay, switch to PDF. This is in the easier way. So if you click on the PDF download, so you say, I want the whole current chapter, then you continue. So you continue to download the current chapter, right? It creating a PDF, you can open it in the PDF. So if you're interested in that topic, okay. So these are some of the ways that you can utilize the ebook content. We go back here, we go back to the book that we were looking at. So how this is number one, if you want the entire book, because there's no restriction, you can download the book, you can read online. But again, if you don't want it to be, you don't want to download, you just want to read by chapters like this one, you download by chapters. You can still download by PDF. There's no restriction. You just download individual chapters. Okay, so there are many ways for you to explore. So on my right here, since if you find this book is very good, you want to learn about this author, and the author has some other books as well. They probably is relevant to you. You can check the availability, whether it's available in this platform. So when you check availability, if like this again, you don't see there's a limitation, you can download it. Okay. Now this is one type of books, but there are books will come with a different message, right? Okay, I'm not sure if this one has what message. Okay, here. So if you see this is again is an unlimited access, but this one has a number indicated number. So 202 pages. That means you can download 202 pages in PDF per day. After 24 hours, this will again refresh to 202. So you can, there is a limitation or there's allowances for every day. So this is got 202. Every 24 hours it get refreshed, and you can download more books based on the subject, based on the chapters and so on. Okay, so just take note of that. Other than that, if you want to download this book, the entire book, if you see this and you want to download the entire book, you cannot download into PDF anymore, because you need to download them into a reader called Adobe Digital Edition. Okay, this is the reader. How many of you already have an Adobe Digital Edition? If you have, say yes in the chat box. If you don't have, say no. Okay, some of you already have. That's good. If you don't have, no worries. If you don't have, you can download it. But anyway, we are going to move away from Adobe Digital Edition. We are going to introduce the app soon. So eventually, you will get your apps. Yeah. Okay, let it load. It takes some time. So what happens here is whenever you click on download, it will then say, yes, you are downloading to the desktop or iOS or Android, whichever. You just continue. Okay, so for those who are new, you haven't have Adobe Digital Edition, you just download this software. This is very easy. Just follow the steps and then you download the software. The software would be Adobe Digital Edition Reader. So once you're done with the step, then you just say, I want to keep this for 21 days and I want to download it. Once you have downloaded, if you double click, it will be populated into your reader. Then you should be able to read the full books, right? Because you have this, you have the allowances. Okay, there are another set of books. Okay, they probably, hold on a second, let me see. Okay, I may not have the example here, but if you see this book has one or one user or three users, it will still the same. It is still the same, but what it means is at the same time, simultaneously, only one or three users can use something like that. But this one, everyone can download simultaneously. Right? That's the only differences. Okay, so now what happens to the books that we have kept it in the bookshelf? So if you go to your bookshelf, right? So even though you see this folder is empty because there's nothing in the research folder, because we have organized it into the folders that we are interested in. So remember, I have created mental health just now. So these are books under my mental health folder. So next time, whenever you log in here, you come to your folder and you can open the book and you can read the book accordingly, because it's actually it's in your folder for you to have quick references to that. And whatever that annotation that you do here, whatever information that you have added here, it will be saved. And whenever you access it to here, you will be able to see those information, those annotations as well. And those who want to share this information to your other friends is very easy. You just select mental health and you just click here and copy this link, share it to your team members to work on a project paper. Okay, so these are very easy to use platform. I don't have to show you every single features of this platform. But if you have any question, if you're not sure, always go back to your librarian, right? They are the best people to answer your question. So you always go back to them. If you have a question that you want to ask me, you can always send it to me, puriji.malar@clarivate.com. But keep Fan Pariza or your library team in the loop so that they are aware. So first thing that you need to do is make sure that you have access to the resources from your library. Okay, that is the most important thing that I want to emphasize today. Once you have access to these, you have your ID and the password to access to these online databases. Navigating it is much more easier because all of you in this digital era, it's very easy for you to navigate, and you can use the AI assistants to find some information, digest the information. Okay, so I would now I'm going to hold on here to recap what we have done, because it's already 3:47. I have covered all the three databases. So just to do a quick recap. Okay, now, so remember, yeah, the first database that I showed you is the ProQuest Dissertation and Thesis Global. which is the actual graduate work done by users. That can be a good example, good model for you to start with if you have a final year project papers, or if you have dissertations or theses or any project papers for your postgraduate studies. This be a start. Is this be a good start, a good place to have access to your information to broaden your literature discovery. And along with that, for the dissertation and thesis, you already have access to the research assistant, where you can use the research assistant to do a quick analysis on your documents or your papers that you are analyzing. Okay. Then we have looked at music periodical collection, but these are very specific to music research related database for you to discover the scholarly collections, as well as other collections. But remember, I was saying, whenever you do your research on music periodical collection, you make sure you select all the databases because you want a broader results. And the third one is the ebook central, which is a collections of ebooks. So you can find it from the key term using the ISBN. You can use any terms and you can search for it, or you can browse it. You can download in PDF. You can download into Adobe Digital Edition. You can read online. You can download the entire book into a PDF. You can save it to your bookshelf. So many things that you can do with the book collection, so that you can use the information to support your research when it comes to making references. Okay, so this is what we have learned so far. Hopefully it helps you through in your research journey, in your academic journey. So with that, I'm going to end my session. I will see whether if you have any question to see if you have any question. Otherwise, we can wrap up the session. And I would like to take this opportunity also to thank Puan Fariza for organizing this session, and to all the participants. Thank you so much for to being here, spending about 1.5 hours with me. So there is some message from Puan Fariza. Please take note of that. And for the ELE points, I will send the attendance details to Puan Fariza, and she will process the points accordingly after that. Yeah, so just hold on. Don't worry. Once you have registered, you have attended this session till end, I'm sure it's all good. No worries. Thank you and have a great day ahead.